Greetings. I am Queen Diambi Kabatuswila Chiyomwata, Mukalenga Mukaji wa Nkashama, Wabakwaluntu Wabaluba Wakasai wa Congo. That is Woman King of the Order of the Leopard of the Bakwaluntu people, who are part of the Luba ethnic group in Kasai in the Democratic Republic of Congo. I am also Granjimai, the povo Bantu Brasileiro, that is Queen of the historical diaspora of the Bantu people of Brazil. I'm also Reina de los Congo de Panama, that is Queen of the historical diaspora of the Congo descendants of Panama. As I heard about you organizing this conference, I was very pleased to know that it was time for a deep reflection on the consequences and the effect of the Berlin Conference on the continent of Africa and the repercussion of those consequences as well on the people of Africa. It is quite edifying to know that we are now at a time where we can sit around a table where the actors descending from the ones leading nations that decided to organize that conference and decided to organize the territory of the continent of Africa to serve the benefits of the colonizers, with across the table the people who are basically the descendants and who are now living in full force the consequences of this undertaking. So it's good that we are now sitting across from each other and then we are talking, and I would love to continue the dialogue, to deepen this dialogue, and also to see what could be means to make some amendment so that we could remedy some of the disastrous consequences of the Berlin Conference. The good thing is, as I'm addressing you today, as a queen of my people, it is also to show the great resilience that we have had. And although we may not have necessarily the same power as we used to have long time ago, we are still there and we are still working for the benefit of our people. I believe that taking a look at the ancient African governance system and the way we organize our society in all aspects, socioeconomic and education and many more, could well be a source of inspiration to reorganize and restructure Africa in a way that would this time benefit her people. We understand as well that Berlin came almost as a natural progression for what has happened to Africa many centuries before Berlin. We know that the structures of governance and the infrastructures of the African kingdoms were terribly destroyed during this period of human trafficking that some call slave trade, but under our perspective it was human trafficking. Those consequences, of course, made it easy for a Conference of Berlin to be held, and also for the decision made in that conference to be easily implemented on the ground, using basically the same tactics of division that were used during the time of human trafficking, and installing chaos and desolation for the African people. Of course, as myself, a product of Berlin, because my mother is European and my father is African, there is not only negative things that came about after this conference, but of course we can measure that Africa, after this almost 60 years of independence and more for some African countries, have yet to come about and come around dealing with these negative consequences. So I believe that to make amend and to make corrections will require not only those who are descendants from those who called for the Berlin Conference and those who profited most from these divisions of Africa, with, in the same table, those who were on the other side and were never invited to be part of this conference, and so that we can now talk to each other and we can maybe make a beautiful difference. I would love to see a conference such as this one invite kings of Africa, because we are still there and we are doing a lot of amazing work, and we have perpetuated traditions from the ancient heritage that lasted for thousands of years on the continent. And I trust that Africa has still a lot to teach the world, a lot to share with the world, as it has done for thousands of years, during which Africa was a net exporter of knowledge, of science, of wisdom, of agricultural and processed goods, and of course of people. So I wish you a very good conference. I hope that one day I will be able to speak to you face to face, but I wanted to leave this small message just so you could know that we are still there. I am a representative of the African Kings, and I am also the secretary of the international relationship of the Pan-African Council of Traditional and Customary Authorities. So I am very proud to be a representative also of my ancient heritage of the Bakwaluntu people, who are part of the Luba greater ethnic group, who is of course an amazing and mighty people. I thank you. I am very proud that Congo will be well represented here by our ambassador, who is a very cultured man and appreciate this heritage. And so I wish you a very good conference, and I hope that it's not going to be the last, and there are going to be many more that will invite people to come along so that we can produce information that would vulgarize not only the history of Africa, but also inform that it's time that we can heal, and we can heal together by doing such work together. Thank you.